Hi everyone, it's Mark here from Reliable Dryer Vent. Today I'm doing a demonstration for you about the flammability of lint and the various materials that are used for dryer venting. So here we have the different materials that are used. The first two, this one here is a very thin, flexible duct. It's made of vinyl. This one is also a very thin, flexible duct made of plastic. This is the code compliant rigid ducting. These first two should never be used in dryer venting, and I'll demonstrate for you why. And then finally there's this part here, which is actually ULC approved here in Canada, UL in the US, and is code compliant, but just a caveat, it's code compliant as a transition duct, meaning it goes from the dryer to the actual dryer vent or dryer duct, the rigid part, and should never ever be concealed within a wall and should never be more than 8 feet in length. And even in myself, for me, I like this transition duct to be as short as possible. So I'm just going to demonstrate to you how these four react to lint fires. So in each of these ducts that we showed you earlier, you can see there is lint accumulated in all of them. In these two, honestly, because they were brand new, I stuffed them with lint. These are just naturally occurring lint accumulations that we pulled from two separate customers' homes. So first we're going to light this particular one on fire. This is the flex duct, which is the very thin vinyl. And just so you know, safety first, we have the water hose right beside us in case things get out of hand, but really they shouldn't. So now the lint is on fire, and you can see how quickly this spreads. So just a quick spark lit the lint, and now it's spreading right within the duct itself. And in this particular case, it's pretty jammed, so there's not a lot of airflow inside, but even still, the fire spreads very quickly. So I'm just looking at my timer. I don't have this available, but from the time I started this particular segment, right now we're 53 seconds in. And you can see that, the venting is becoming completely engulfed in flames, and that's how quickly this happens. Okay, I'm going to put this out now. And so now the second plastic duct that we are going to light on fire, this is the one that is plastic. Again, it's not rated for use with a dryer, but it often is. And you can see there goes the lint. And already it's catching. We're 22 seconds in here, and you can see that it's coming out both ends, so the fire is spreading. And you can see that the plastic itself is breaking down, and you can't smell this, but it's actually quite gross. And you can see how quickly this is spreading. So if this was inside your wall and this fire was occurring, it could actually take down the whole house, because once it spreads to the combustible framing, there's virtually no controlling it. Now, as we further the experiment, or the demonstration, you can see this is the one that's actually the code compliant transition duct. It's made of foil, not plastic, and I've stuffed it with lint. And even though it is code compliant, watch what happens when the lint catches on fire. So I have lit the lint, and there we go, it's finally caught. So you can see it has some fire retardancy to it. It's igniting a little bit, but it's not completely breaking down and catching on fire. Right now we're 30 seconds in, and so you have a little more time, but even though this is a code compliant vent, now you can see 42 seconds in and it's completely engulfed. That's why, even though it's code compliant, it should only ever be exterior. never inside a wall, and a maximum of 8 feet. Because even though it has some fire retardancy properties, it's not fireproof, and it will still catch on fire and burn your house down. And now finally, here is the rigid, so solid metal, code compliant dryer vent that we're gonna light the lint on fire. Try to get this one going because I really stuffed it and I probably shouldn't have, to leave it some airflow. But you can see the lint has caught on fire. We are 30 seconds in, and if you remember the previous videos, by 30 seconds the duct was pretty much gone at that point. Right now there's virtually nothing happening to the metal duct. You can see that the fire is in fact still burning. So the lint is still a fuel, and it's still bad to have it in here. But at the very least, you can see that the duct itself is not breaking down, it's not melting. And we're gonna just pause this and let it go. Right now we're 1 minute and 20 seconds in, and I'm just gonna put it on pause so that I'm not boring you. So we're about 2 minutes in now. You can see that the flame is really spread. The fuel is totally ignited now, but there's still no breakdown of the venting. But you can see that flame just shooting out the end as the lint continues to burn. It hasn't made it all the way through to this end, but you can see it's just starting here now. So it has made its way through the duct, but everything has been contained within the dryer vent duct. So that is why it's so very important to make sure that whenever you're having venting installed, that it's done with the code compliant rigid vent. Because right now, even though I paused it, my timer shows 2 minutes 17 seconds, but truthfully we're closer to 3.5 minutes in, and there's still no breakdown within the duct itself, which means it hasn't spread to the walls of the home. It hasn't spread to the combustible framing. And so as this particular one wraps up, the vent is still burning. The lint is almost burned up. You can see kind of right through. There is still some fuel there. It's still burning inside, but it hasn't burned itself completely out yet. But I mean, I've stopped the timer. We're probably about 4 minutes in, and frankly, I really jammed this with lint for effect, just to demonstrate the difference between the four products that are used for venting. So anyway, that's it for this version, and I hope you found this informative. And remember, always use rigid venting when you're venting your dryer vent.